Hello world, it's Jennifer from the patio. I am coming to you today with just a quick tutorial to make these 3 projects. So, the first one, let me just put these aside, are these cute little pockets that you make with just a square piece of paper. You fold in the edges, and we're going to make some, and then you just embellish the top. So they are the cutest things, and I love making these out of book pages because we have so many book pages. But one thing I will tell you, just one is kind of flimsy, so this is just a prototype, but I reinforce them and double them like this one. It's 2 pages glued together. But aren't they just the cutest? I actually put some kind of a vellum on here just to give it an iridescent look. I love that one too. So that's the first one we're going to make. And then the second one, this is one of my favorite projects. I love to include these in journals. They are just a cylinder pocket that you fold up. And I want to say I saw this from G. Kerr with Happiness and Crafting. And she did a whole lot of different things with book pages, and this was one of them. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking, because it was a long time ago, because I've been making these for a couple of years. But you don't have to, have it to where it flips down. You can actually glue it. See, this one is glued, and then each one of these is a pocket. And so you stick something in there, and then you glue it down to your page like this, and then you have 2 tags. And then depending on how you glue it, you can, we all can make ways to make more tucks and more pockets and so forth. But I like the ones that fold down because you can put some paper down here that's, some tea-dyed paper or whatever, and then have it like a little secret writing space right there. So this one's glued down, but I love these too, the big thicker ones, so you can put a bigger tag in it. I'm all about the long skinny tags, and big long tags. So that's the second project we're going to make. The third one is using book pages too, and this one was made out of a map, and all I did was just glue the 2 together and then fold the bottom up, and then just fold this down. And then as the way I glue it on a page is I'm going to glue it down on both sides and the bottom, and I'm going to have a long tag that comes from the top. So I just really love these. It's just really simple and easy. This one's a little different. It's a doubled dictionary page, and I glued the sides, and then I folded it up because it's so big and made another pocket, but took that fold and just folded it down, and then I put some gesso under here so that you could write. And so you have this little side tuck, you have a pocket here, and then you have another pocket here. And then when you glue it down, you can glue it on the sides, make a tuck, or a side tuck, which is what I do. I glue the top just right here, right underneath that little cutout for a pocket, and then I just take it down the side, and then that way I can put something behind it. So we are going to make these 3 right now using these book pages, dictionary pages actually, that I have already strengthened by gluing them together. So this is 2 pages that I've glued together, and so we are going to use these right now. Okay, let's start. Because my paper's so big, I'm hoping I stay in frame. But we are going to start with this, and this is a 5.5 by 5.5 square. But I'm going to make it 6 by 6. So let me see what this is real quick, just so I can see what I'm doing. This is 11. So I need to make it probably 5.5 by 5.5. Okay, so that's fine. And then 5.5 is about here. So let me just measure so I can get my my measurements so that I can, I'm going to do it like this. Let's see, 5.5 is here. So it's right at that line. Okay, perfect. So I am going to fold it right at that line. And they're not squared, as we know, pages that come out of books, so you kind of have to be careful about that. And then I'm going to cut it at 5.5, and then I'll cut it again. So 5.5 by 5.5. Right on that line. So see, when you, there might be a little bit, no, it's 5.5. So that's all you're going to do. You're going to get a square. So you can do 5.5, 6, 6, 7, 7, however. This makes about a 3-inch area for you to slide a tag in. Let me get real quick my box of tags and see if I have something in here that is 3 inches or whatever, just so you can kind of see how that works. But it's going to go like this. So all you're going to do is you're going to face it to where you have the corners at the top. You put your little point at the top and the bottom, and then I fold in. Let's see, let's make sure this is, yeah. We'll make sure that that's on the line. And they're centered. So I'm going to fold into that probably about half. So we're going to go in about half in between this square. And then do the same on this side. And make sure you're squared up. You go in just a little bit more. And that literally is all you do. It's so easy, but I think it's so pretty when you start embellishing. You can put big flowers, and of course, you know, inking the edges on paper, it just makes it so pretty. So, and of course you want to ink before you glue it, so that's why I got, and my I don't know about your dauber, but mine has lots of ink on it, so I don't have to worry about inking it all up too much. So that's the outside, and then this is the bottom again. I'm just doing a quick video because my husband went to go take the dog for a walk, and they're usually gone. He said he was going to go wash his car off, but it's the weekend, and they are, you know, in the house, and so it just makes it difficult to videotape. So anyway, that's okay. That's not a big deal. So anyway, then you're just going to get your glue, and I'm using art glitter glue, and you're just going to glue, you know, you're just going to glue the edges. I mean, the little points. And you don't have to do a lot. Probably going to do this one, though. Just come like that, and then put it down. And that is it. But I just think it's just so pretty. And then when I've done them to where on the back, I glue like from that line to that line. And then I glue it down on my paper. I have a pocket here, and then it makes it like a belly band the way I glue it down, so I can slide a nice little card in there. So that is project 1. Very simple, but very nice in a journal. And also, we'll just real quick, let's just do this. But I have some graphic 45 paper, 6x6, that I just got the biggest haul from Goodwill. I'm telling you, I don't know. Just recently, I have been just getting so many wonderful things. But I was able to get all of these 6x6 pads plus this one, and I think there's 2 more over there, and they were all $1.99 a piece, which I thought was a fabulous deal, especially for Graphic 45. I got 2 DCWV big packs of paper for $5. And then I got a Tim Holtz for $3.99. It was a complete one. And I can't afford Tim Holtz. So, you know, I don't buy Tim Holtz paper a lot. When I do, it's a special occasion. And I was so excited. It was $3.99. All of them are in pristine condition. And let's see, I got a something Smith. And it was a really pretty embossed paper. But anyway, I thought we could make one of these with this paper because I wanted to show you, you know, I'm so drawn to orange. I don't know why, but I wanted to do kind of a, not a directional. That's pretty. Let's just do that. That's pretty. Not that one, this one. Just to show you that if you have some double-sided 6x6, how pretty this would be. Now, this is going to go this. I think I like it better that way than like this. I don't know. I kind of like that too. Sometimes the dots can be a little overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my goodness. That's a lot of dots going on. So anyway, you want to make sure that everything's lined up at the bottom, at the top, and on the sides. And that looks pretty good. And then we're going to come in. I think we're just going to come into that line. Let's see what that does. It looks like it's going to just be right in the middle. Let's get it in there. Let's get that going. I'm going to get my bone folder out so I can push it down. I've been singing a lot. I don't know what it is, but my husband and I both, will say something, and then the next thing you know, we've just thought of a song that it goes with, and we just start singing. Now, see, this is going to be just the tip, but I kind of like it, so it's going to give us a little bit. You have to be careful that you have to make it square, because your tag will come out if it's not. And so that's pretty much it. And then we just glue this center. So see, you don't have to glue it to where it overlaps a lot. You can just do it where it just touches right in the middle. And this glue is going to hold, believe you me. And then you just find a tag that you can stick in. Of course, this one's too small. You'd want it to be, you know, fit the width of it, but yeah, see? So you can use your double-sided 6x6 paper. What a good way to use it up. So I wanted to show you that, and I was so excited to use my new paper. So anyway, okay, so that is one. Like I said, we are doing a quick video. So that's one. We've got that down. Let me put my marker on. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is these. Like I said, I love these. I love to put them in my journals. And I like it when they flip down like this. They're so simple. I mean, it just... And like I say, be sure and double your paper, so that it's not flimsy and subject to tear. Okay, so we are using the pages that I have already reinforced. I have 2 of these glued together. And so we're just going to make a cylinder. And so we're going to take this and we're just going to fold one over. This one looks like it's going to be a little bit bigger and so we're just going to take it down. Then we're going to take the other side. And I know it doesn't look like it's straight. I'm sorry, I'm flipping it. But it's just the text on here. You know, the page itself is straight. It's the way I glued it on. And then you're going to take the back portion. And I kind of like the little holes in here. I mean, these are called junk journals, so we want it to look a little like junk, right? And so then you just you're just going to burnish it and get those folds really good. And then I always like the front one to be the one that is facing upward and the back one is not. And you can always decorate that as well. And so then you determine how high, if you want your pockets to go like this, or if you want this one to be lower down like this. But first what I want to do is I want to punch. If my punch will do it, I don't know, because this is a lot of paper all in one. But let me get it out and let's see, because I like my holes to be all the same. Even if they're not centered, I like them to all be the same. Let me see if I can get some strength in there. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. That's just way too much. Okay, let me see if I can get it to... Okay. Now let me see. Oh, you know what? It's marked right there. So there you go. I can see it. It's marked where I had put it in. Okay, there you go. Perfect, perfect. Let me throw those away. And then I think I'm going to do... I love the holes. Now, one thing you have to remember is, depending on the width of your journal, like most of them, if you're doing an 8.5 by 11 or 9 by 6, you only have about 5.5 width to work with. So if you look, like this one is here, and then if you put this like this, you're going to put it in your journal like this. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to spread across your page like that, 5. So your tag's going to come up. So you kind of want to work with that to kind of get it to where it's not spread out so much. But, and that looks good like that. So we got that. So all we're going to do is we're going to glue this together. That's it. And then we fold it and it is ready to go. So we don't have to put too much glue on it. So I'm going to put it all the way down on this side so it'll catch that. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put the glue over here. And I'm not going to put it too much where the holes are unless I do it out here. So I don't want the glue to seep through the holes, but I want it to stick. Okay, and then we're just going to glue it together. Turn it sideways. Okay, and then we're just going to fold it like this. And then just kind of, because it's so thick, you kind of have to, you know, put it down like that. But it's going to be in your journal like this, and then you'll just flip this down. And how cute is that? Then you could put some coffee dyed paper. You could paint it like I did. I just put some gesso on it so that it was kind of white, so that somebody could just, you know, go and put something in there, but you would put it here and then down here. And it's just like a little hidden writing spot. And of course, you're going to ink and do all of those fun things that we do to make... Sorry, I got to get my pen in. But not if it's too far away from me. So, my good old trusted vintage photo. But I love the way it looks with the paper. And then I open it up and just do the back side of the punch so that it just makes it kind of stand out when you have a card in it. So it's just one of those simple projects that can just, you know, add some fun and some interaction. And I think that's what we're all shooting for, is for somebody to get their journal and just be, you know, wooed by the different movements and everything that, you know, they can touch and play with. And then just secret writing places. We're always looking for, you know, a secret writing space. But I think these are fabulous to put in a journal. And I always use a big dictionary page or a map or something like that, because they're so sturdy. And then when you reinforce it, I mean, it just is so pretty, But you can put something on the back because, that's upside down text, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So, okay, well, that is number 2. So we'll put this aside over here. So there's that one. So the third one is one of my favorites too. And this is one map page that I just folded in half and glued. It's just glued. And then all I did is I flipped the bottom up, and then I only glued one side. So if I wanted my flap to be on the left-hand side, I glued on the right and the bottom. And then some of them I made where I would glue the left and the bottom and have this flap down. So it just depends on what side of the page you're going to put it on. And then I made a punch for the top. And so when I put it in a journal, I can decide how I want to glue it. And so, but I like to have big, if y'all know me, and I've only made, this is my 15th or 16th video. But if you've watched any of mine, I love a big tag to just pull out of the back. And let me show you. Just a big tag. Let's see, this one doesn't even go all the way down. But that's what I would do, and maybe have it sticking out of a tall journal, and then just, you just have this beautiful tag to come out of the back. So I like these because I just like, big tags to go in them. So anyway, there's this one that's just folded over, and then you flip up the bottom, and then you only glue one side. Easy, easy, easy peasy. Okay, so this is the one we're going to make right now. Let me move these aside so they don't distract us. So this one is the same concept as the other, but the only thing I did is I doubled the pages, and then I just folded it over, and then glued the edge. And then I flipped up the bottom and glued the sides, and then just made this little piece with some gesso so that you could have a secret writing space. Okay? So it gives you a side tuck pocket, another pocket, and then a pocket that goes inside the folded dictionary page. So when you glue it down on a page in your journal, you can glue it on the top, the left, and the right, and have a side tuck that comes in. You could glue it so you have another tag behind this tag that's even bigger. Or you could glue it the opposite. You could do top, right, and bottom, and then have a left, depending on how you put it on your page. Easy, easy, easy. And that's what we're going to make right now with our little book page. Our big book page. These are big, aren't they? Okay, so first of all we're going to do is just fold it in half. We're going to fold it in half. And the gluing, you can see that my gluing was not, the pages were not perfect. And that's okay. I do not do perfection. I do good. I do well and beautiful, but I don't always try to do perfection. Because I just don't. So I like the holes on the, to show. So I'm going to leave those on the top. So all we're going to do is we're going to glue it. But once again, I want my notches to match. So I was going to try, but I just can't do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up, and then I'm going to put a little mark where I want both of them to be. So that looks about centered. So it's going to be here and here. The only thing about this punch is you can't, once you put it in, you can't really see. So you just have to put it in and then just hope that you have it right at that spot, which I think I do. Okay. And then I'm going to put a notch in this one. Make sure I have it centered, or at least in the same spot. Look, I did pretty good. Look at that. Yes, I did. Okay, so I'm going to, and you decide how tall you want it, how tall you want this pocket. And see, we're not going to glue this down yet because this is going to fold. So we need to make sure that we, you know, oh, did I punch it before? Yeah, I did. I punched it before. That's okay. Let's do another one. Not that it matters, but that the other one didn't have a punch. Okay. I'm trying to hurry because my hubby, he gonna be home in a little bit, and then he's gonna make steaks on the grill. So, okay, so let's just start over. Let's do it like this. And then I'm gonna punch the top. So let's get that centered. And I'll punch the top. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to determine how tall we want it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably don't want it more than 7. All right, we'll go 8. So 8. Let's do 8, and that gives us a 3-inch little pocket down here. And you got to work with this because it's, you know, it's doubled paper, so it's really quadrupled, if you will. Okay, so this flap is going to come down like this. It's not, doesn't give you tons of writing space, but, you know, enough to give you, and then plus it just gives you this extra little flap too. That's where that punch was. So you're just going to do this, and then you could make a punch here, centered in between these two. Yes, I like it. I like it. At least so you know that there's a pocket there. Okay? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to glue this. So now that I've made my folds, I know where I'm gluing. And I'm not going to go further than that. So all I'm going to do is just glue the edge. It does kind of get into your space a little bit. Just make sure it doesn't come through the holes. I hope you guys are having a crafty weekend. It's just been kind of a weird weather weekend. I know I'm always talking about weather, but my husband and I went to visit my sister-in-law in New Braunfels, and that was fun. We had a great time, and we went out for lunch and had a big old stack of onion rings at Clear Springs. If you're from Texas, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so anyway, it was a beautiful, sunny and just cool, and we had a great time driving and just listening to podcasts and spending time together. So anywho, so I just didn't have time to do a video, so I'm like, oh, I gotta hurry up and get one out. So, okay, so that's it. So this side is glued, and then now I do kind of want to ink this side real quick before I glue this other one down. So I hope you guys check out my Friday video. I am working on creating a folio, a large folio with a journal insert. But the large folio has a open book waterfall in it, which is a little different. So the waterfall goes to the right and the left, right and the left, opposed to flipping up. And anyway, I'm really excited, and I'm using my new kit that I just came out with called Come Away With Me. So, and you can find the kit. I haven't put it up yet, but it will be up by tomorrow. You can find the kit on my Ko-Fi at Jennifer from the Patio, and literally for a minimal amount, you can have almost an 80-something page kit that you can craft along with me and make the same thing I'm making. The papers are gorgeous and beautiful. It's a watercolor with little cottage, and it's just beautiful. You'll have to see, and I'll put the video up just so you can on this one, just so you can see what I'm making. And those videos come out on Fridays at 12 noon. So okay, so that's what we're going to do. There it is. I mean, how simple is this? Now all we have to do is glue it down. So I'm going to glue this side right here. And so I'm just going to glue the edge up to that mark. Oop, I forgot to glue the other side. Hello. Hello, we need both sides glued. Okay, there. There, that makes more sense. I hope I'm not just being frantic trying to get this out, but sometimes we just need to get to it. Let's get to crafting and not the, it just needs to be quick and simple and easy. So that is it, my friends. That is it. And so you're going to have a place for a large tag in here. And then let me get my goodies over here and see what we got. You can have a large little booklet or something in there. There's a cute little booklet. And then you could have another tag behind it that's bigger. I mean, it is endless, the things that we can do. Here's some My Porch prints. I mean, we could put that in there too. It's a little big, but that's okay. I mean, you could put, several tags in here like that. I mean, it really is just endless how much stuff you can put in these. And I mean, I kind of like a little tag like this, maybe one that looks like that, but you just stair step. And then when you glue it in, I personally would glue it so that my, on a page, so that I can have a pull out on the right or the left, whichever. I really like having the little circles. I'll probably go back and just stress them a little bit more. But that is it. So this is number 3 that we made. And then we made this one, number 2. And then we made this one, number 1. These are simple and easy. And where's the other one we made with the graphic 45 paper? Just simple and easy, but just gives you a lot of real estate. Gives you lots of places to write, especially in this one. This one gives you hidden writing space, which I love. And then you have 2 tags that you just stick in the top. And, you put a big long tag in that one. And then you just put a big tall tag in this one. So it's going to sit on your paper like this. And I usually make this tag a little bit smaller just so you can kind of see that there's a tag in there. But, I mean, they're just so pretty. And you just, they're really quick and simple. And there you go. And that's all it is. Just something quick and easy. Just wanted to share with you. This video comes out Monday, but check out my video on Friday at 12 noon with my Come Away With Me kit. And just, I'm excited. I'm excited about all of it. So you have a fabulous, let's see, you'll see it tomorrow. So you have a fabulous week. And I hope you get to spend lots of times crafting. And I will see you in the next video. But first, remember, you only know what you know until you know something different. And at some point, I'm going to explain this very saying that I say at the end of every video. But you have a fabulous time, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.